Good afternoon. It is March 22nd, and my name is Bianca. And if you don't know, I was a member of the Gamble Nipper YMCA back in 2021 and 2022. Me and my daughter were sex trafficked out of the Gamble Nipper YMCA by several of their members, but two of them in particular, Glenda Harris and a lifeguard by the name of Zach, had heavy dealings and the sexual assault of my 9-year-old daughter. Um, there's a lot of discuss. I try to break it up into small segments, but I recall, things like me going swimming, and one particular time, Glenda Harris, she followed me out to the parking lot. I mention this because this is the stalking behavior that, unbeknownst to me at the time, but would carry on outside of the YMCA. So the stalking started inside the YMCA. And my daughter and I would go swimming, and there was a lifeguard there by the name of Zach. Um, I don't know how he got my information. He's a hacker, he's a sex trafficker, he's a child rapist, and he's also a serial killer. And like I said, I had some type of money, or there's something financial that's tied to what they're doing. And now I'm currently residing at the Anna Louise Inn. And this is the third apartment that I've stayed in. And the Cincinnati police have paid property management to work with them to try to frame me so that Zach and Glenda can walk free after their inheritance theft forgery. Okay, because um, that's the reason why they sex trafficked me and my child, was to cover up their crime. And their crime was inheritance theft. So they know people down in the Hamilton County Courthouse that can pull strings to switch money that has nothing to do with them, okay? And to their, I don't know what you would call that, but into their bank accounts, basically. And just how the Cincinnati police work so closely with Anna Louise Inn, because it's the Cincinnati police and a couple of judges that have a chat room where they are exploiting me in my home. And they have the Anna Louise employees, and they have their neighbors watching me on camera. Okay, so the Cincinnati police, okay, Glenda and Zach's friends, who are cops, have chosen to run this abuse for them. Okay, so their Cincinnati police are running some type of sexual assault, battery, harassment chat room. Okay, and so the Cincinnati police have it set up to where Anna Louise neighbor will try to start an argument, okay, so that they can arrest me. And it's very illegal what they're doing at Anna Louise Inn. But no one's saying anything about it because this is ran by the Cincinnati sheriffs, the Cincinnati police, and a couple of their judges. Okay, so there's a lot of harassment. There's a lot of, and this surveillance. Okay, so the Anna Louise neighbors are watching me on a camera. Okay, and their maintenance man, Evan, he set up multiple cameras in my apartment. Okay, and so the Anna Louise employees and the Anna Louise neighbors, they watch me on camera 24/7. And whenever I come outside, they come outside. And it's always the same people. And people are allowed to come outside, but by them surveillancing me, they're able to synchronize it whenever they want. So whenever I come outside, here they are. And they're always trying to start some type of argument with me. And I'm not going to do it because I already know they're trying to frame me. They have the neighbor on the side of me, and they have the neighbor upstairs banging on the wall, dropping stuff, loud stuff. Okay? And so this is what they do every day at Anna Louise Inn. So whenever I'm in the living room, they'll be watching me on a camera surveillance, and then they'll start banging on where the couch is at. Okay, so this is the type of games and the type of battery and abuse, adult abuse that's going on at the Anna Louise Inn, her Cincinnati currently. Okay, so they're exploiting me on camera. So every time I take a shower, every time I use the restroom, they're thumping and bumping to let me know that they're watching me on camera. Any type of private activity I do, they're Anna Louise employees. So not only are the neighbors watching me on camera shower, but their employees are doing it as well. Okay, so this is the type of setup that Zach and Glenda do to women. They pay people where they live at to start abusing them. And it needs to come out and it needs to be brought to the open. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay? Because this does not need to be kept a secret. This needs to be exposed. This needs to be brought out into the open, so that more women are made aware of their surroundings, of what they may be dealing with. If this sounds familiar, because it's not just happening at the Anna Louise Inn. This is a big, large cartel that we're talking about. And I will make more videos. I didn't want to make this too long, but, I like to talk about my experiences at the Anna Louise Inn and their abuse and assault. Their employees are doing it. So the Anna Louise employees are doing this surveillance assault. So they're watching me on camera, okay? And they're very abusive with it. And I feel like it needs to come out. And so it's not going to be kept a secret. And neither is the pedophiles at the Gamble Nippert YMCA. This lifeguard raped my daughter. And he wants to get away with it. Glenda Harris, raped my daughter with a group of men. And they think they should get away with it. And they think they're going to make their problems disappear by paying Anna Louise to frame me. And it's just not going to happen. So it's been a pleasure talking to you all. And I will make future recordings. Thank you. Take care and God bless.